Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and I, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. And if you are looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today, we are doing chapter 19 of Trustless Shadows. I tuned down the growls and demons moving about because they were a constant background noise in the building. Derick, what is the urgency? Claus asked as we run. Turning on the lights told Adams we're getting the humans out. We turned the power on so we could unlock the doors to the cell. I don't think Adams would consider that, but lights are only needed by humans. That he will have noticed. We enter the stairwell, and I hear new sounds over the constant growls. Large fist pounding on glass. I I ignore what else Claus says and rush ahead of everyone. I only make it down one floor when I hear one of the windows shatter and humans scream. Humans scream. I make it down the second floor, and the screams of fear turn into terror and pain, and are interrupted in place with gurgling. I reach sub 5 to the sound of something being wrenched out, and more screaming becomes audible. My hand is a blade, and I slash a demon in the doorway, making him back away. I don't look to see if he's down. I keep running. The demons are too busy banging on windows or looking for ways to get through them and to the humans inside to pay me any attention. I ignore them, let the others deal with them. I follow the screams. When Claus and I attacked this place over a year ago, I watched him jump through a glass that was supposedly demon-proof. As I jump through this window, I see the glass is much thicker than what Claus broke. The shattered window. A roar explodes behind me. I feel the undertone of Claus' order. Stop. I ignore the command, but the demons before me pause. The demon before me pauses and turns. He has a broken human body in a hand, a man with a bleeding stump where his arm would have been. With a scream, I jump on him and plunge the blade into his chest. He roars, surprise and defiance. He grabs the back of my trench coat and throws me across the room. If I'd been a human, I would have broken on impact. I only see stars for a few seconds. When I get to my feet, the demon has his back to me. He's reaching for one of the 5 humans cowering in the corner. They're trying to hide it behind one another, shoving each other in front as a sacrifice for their own lives. They disgust me, but I'm not letting them die. I'm not done with you, I say through gritted teeth. The demon stiffens in surprise and looks over his shoulder. His glowing red eyes narrow on me, then look at the wall. You are hard food. His voice is deep gravely. He's older, but not as old as the demons I encountered on my way here. They made me tough. Why don't you come here and I'll give you a proper hunt? He looks at my hand, the blade stretching a foot and a half from it. You are like the Atom. I shrug. Not really. The demon turns. The Atom is strange. Thinks strange things. The humans scamper for the door as soon as his back is to them. The Atom says we rule over food. He pauses, considering something. The Atom says strange things. If he's so strange, why don't you leave? The demon cants his head. The Atom says I stay. He smiles. Run. Food. Give me a hunt. Sorry, I lied. I rush him. I duck under his arms as he tries to grab me and slash at his legs. He roars in order to stop moving in it. Not happening. I'm on my feet and ready. Amanda trained me to take on demons head on, overwhelm them with strength and superior weapons. Fighting humans in the ring has taught me a different way. I don't have to throw myself at an opponent with everything I have and count on having more strength or stamina or better weapons. I can take my time, weakening him with small strikes, tire him by forcing him to me, or, in the demon's case, heal. Robert explained that attrition is often the only way to take down a stronger opponent, and this demon is much stronger than I am. I'm given that reminder when I block one of his strikes using my right arm and feel the impact through my hardened skin. He presses his advantage and I back against the wall, having trouble keeping my arm up to take the blows. This isn't a good hunt. The demon growls in disdain. See if I care. I raise my left hand and fire at his chest. He steps back with each bullet that hits him. Surprise and pain register on his face, the light in his eyes dimming slightly. Attrition is one thing, but Robert hasn't fought demons. Sometimes superior firepower is the only way to go. Poison. The demon looks at his chest, the black blood flowing out of it. His eyes light up with anger. You fight with poison. I put the revolver away and take out a sword, unfolding it. I do. He roars and charges me. I slash at him, step aside, and make another gash in his flank. He roars, pain and anger. He turns, takes a step in my direction, then stops. He eyes my sword. He eyes my sword's eyes narrowing. I do not like that. He looks at my sword eyes narrowing. I wonder how young he is as he studies me. I can see him calculating. At what age do demons become capable of strategy? He picks a large chunk of glass from the floor and bounces it in a hand before throwing it at me. I jump out of the way, and there's a hollow thunk behind me. I glance over my shoulder to see it embedded in the wall, the metal wall. How did it shatter on impact? I can't ponder the question. I'm too busy dodging projectiles. I move left and right, keeping an eye on him, watching him bleed. Demons can't heal wounds from irradiated weapons. The radiation makes them lose control of that exposed section, so they can't close them. It's why they were my usual choice when I was able to choose how I fought them. I've killed demons without these weapons, but they make the job a lot easier. The demon feels around the ground for his next projectile, and then some more. He glances down to see where they are, and I rush him. Without looking up, he swats me out of the way, and I end up in the corner the human had been in. My head rings again. He gives me a demon smile full of long, pointed teeth. I get back up, definitely smarter than my usual demon. My breathing is labored, my body hurts. The problem with attrition is it works both ways. I can't endure this forever, and the effect of the radiation on him isn't as strong as I expected. It's back to the old tested method. I rush him. This time when he swings, I jump over his arm and plant the sword in his chest all the way to the hilt. I land, roll, and stand, unfolding a second sword. When he looks at me, his eyes are filled with rage. He runs. He runs, arm extended, fingers ending in long claws. I smile as at the mindless run. This is something I know. He rakes at me, and I ignore the sting in my chest. I cut him from hip to elbow in return, with a roar, he swats at me. But the aimless blow glances off my shoulder. It's still hard enough. I skid a few feet away. He fixes his eyes on me and roars, a mindless sound every demon I've hunted has made. When he comes at me, he's slower, not from caution, but from the blood loss. I wait for him, let him do the work, tire himself out. I move around his strike with ease now, and I add more cuts. He turns to follow me, attempts to hit me, and I give him one long gash on his arm, then his leg. He staggers, falls to a knee, and looks at me. The rage is gone from his eyes, replaced with confusion. You are food. He puts determination in his voice, as if saying it would make me remember my place. Not today. Before he can react, I cut his head off. The body falls to one side, the head rolling a few feet to the other. I knelt next to it and reached behind me for the hatchet. I don't find it. I don't find it there, and I'm surprised at how ingrained the reflex is. I haven't beheaded a demon since leaving this city, and the first time I do, I fell right back into the old pattern. Consider my actions and decide that I'm not doing this for Amanda. I form a hatchet with my skin and with one blow cut the skull open. I reach into it, feeling around for the solid mass. My finger closes around it, the size of my thumb and irregular in shape. I pull my hand out with a slurping sound and use the dead scientist's lab coat to clean it and the soulstone. When I stand and turn, I find I have an audience. Soldiers are staring at me through the broken window. I put my other swords out of his chest, and head for them. They get out of my way as I climb through and leave the room. The corridor is littered with bodies, demons, scientists, and a few soldiers. I was so focused on my own fight, I barely heard any of this happening. Claus stands when I'm close to him, his hands pulling out of a demon's hand. I hand him the stone. I figure you can send him on his way when this is all over. He takes it, already holding a few in his hands. I do not know how many I will be able to retrieve and send to the first one. Is it your responsibility to get all of them? Only those I kill. Claus looks at the bodies around us. But I know what the humans can do with them now. I do not want to leave any here. What the hell is that? The man is short, light skin, with skin lighter brown than mine. The voice identifies him as Klein. This is what we are once the body dies. What does that even mean? For all that my people are collects into this on death. I will burn them and send them to the first one. Are you telling me that you guys have souls and that they stay stuck inside you? Claus looks at me. I have no idea what he's talking about. Jason told me they're called soulstone, but I figured it was another one of the things they made up. Klein rolls his eyes at me. Souls are what makes you who you are, what God put into you and takes back when you die. All that you are, Claus says, while I just shrugs. Exactly. You don't have one. Klein looks shocked. Excuse me? I have looked. There is nothing left when a human dies. You've killed humans? Claus doesn't say anything. You've gone digging in their heads like you did them? That's sick. Why would you do something like that? I would give you the same honor I give my people. So do you do that when you kill an animal too? Klein's skin takes on an ashen color. They are animal. There is nothing else to them. Klein looks like he wants to say something, but the words aren't forming. The captain comes out of a room and looks at them. Enough standing around. We're on the clock. We're all boosted, and if that runs out when we're still in a fight, we're dead. We need to go and deal with Adam. Claus looks around. Yes, Adam is responsible for all these deaths. And that concludes Chapter 19 of Trustless Shadows. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next one's going to be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read this book as well as the other two in the trilogy, they are available on Kindle Unlimited. If you want a different way to support me, that is on my Patreon, where you can get access to basically everything I've written. And if you are looking to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. Links are in the notes. And with that, I shall wish you a good day.